Hello, this is Tyree the Emcee. I am here today with the yoga extraordinaire. I'm with Monique, and we are going to talk about yoga this morning. Monique, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to hear more about what you're going to offer at the Empowering Women's Expo coming up in February. I hear that you are all about yoga and you bring that to many areas of your life. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So I instruct yoga. I use yoga in my personal life, professional life, focus on not only the physical postures of yoga, but the mindset of yoga, and use that to help me succeed in life.
And what does that mean to you personally, and how has that really shaped your life?
Well, I have found I started practicing yoga really for the physical postures. I danced my whole life. I taught dance as I got older, and in my young 20s, I was looking for something to complement dance, and found yoga as a great way to continue movement as well as maintain flexibility, that sort of thing. But as I started practicing yoga, I realized that there were many benefits that I was experiencing, just as I guess getting to know myself, getting to know my, how I interact with other people, things like that. It really find that yoga also helped me do a little bit more self-exploration, which then helps me, or I guess it kind of flowed over into other areas of my life as I noticed, later on.
How do you tailor your approach to yoga for all women's of all shapes and sizes?
If I'm working one-on-one with someone, it's really getting to know them and what their goals are through yoga, so that I can then find a way to find what is going to work best for them through yoga and meet them right where they're at. Now, when it comes to maybe a larger group, something like that, it's a little bit harder to find individually what each person needs. But I like to give lots of options and create a space where it's okay to choose an option that maybe is different than what your neighbor is doing. Because really that's what it's about. It's about self-exploration. It's about finding what's right for you and being comfortable with making the choice that is right for you.
Medicare health plans, they offer fitness, and we know you got to move it or lose it, right?
Yep,
So,
yep.
you may have a class where you have someone who's 16 and someone who's 67. So how do you mold that class so that it really helps everyone in those age groups?
Yeah, I think it's continuously reminding people that they have a choice. And when I cue different postures in my yoga classes, I like to give multiple options. So if we're, whatever posture we're working on, I would then give, try this. There might also be this option that will work better for you. This might work better in your body. And giving those options and allowing people to really find what works for them, I find is what works best, to really feel, for each individual in the class to feel like they are getting the most out of that session for themselves.
And do you agree with me that, as we age, because I just turned 48 last week, and I swear with each birthday, as you get a little bit older, you wake up and you're like, oh, that must be the year 48. Your belief in movement and the feeling of staying young?
Yeah, honestly, movement is one of the things that will keep us staying young. And especially, I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it's getting a little bit chillier. We know that it's going to get a little icy, which means it's a little bit more unstable. So when we're in the yoga studio, or when we're working on our physical abilities, making sure that we're incorporating balance, making sure that we're incorporating strength, so that when it does get a little bit unstable outside because it's a little icy, we have those muscles built and that ability to be able to find balance physically, but then also, mentally keeping in mind, allowing yourself grace, knowing that our body is going to change and fluctuate throughout life, and that is okay. Just being exactly where you are and knowing that you are doing everything that you can with what you have available to you, and just continuing to find that progress, because even those little bits of movement, those little bits of forward movement can make a huge difference when it comes to progress over time.
Is that what you would suggest as far as, if they want to deepen their practice with yoga, what would be like one piece of advice that you would give for them to like take it to the next level?
Yeah, keep showing up for yourself. And there's a lot to be said about consistency, and allowing yourself space to grow, over time. And sometimes, you might show up and it might just be like, today's not my day. I'm just not feeling 100%. But when you continue to show up for yourselves over time consistently, you're going to see progress. So making it more of that dedication of taking care of you, so that you can continue to move forward and see progress.
And how long, I should have asked this a while ago, so I apologize. How long have you been practicing yoga? And at what point did you take it kind of from that dance, kind of like a casual yoga thing to a career?
Yeah, so I have been practicing yoga since my early 20s, so that's almost 20 years now, which still blows my mind sometimes. But I started teaching, so I was still teaching dance up until about 2020 when, the world went crazy and pandemic hit and everything changed. And this dance studio that I was teaching at ended up closing through that time frame. And so it gave me a point in time to really have this reflection of like, okay, do I want to continue teaching dance, or what else do I, is there something else that maybe would help me feel fulfilled and be able to share with others? And around that same time, I heard of this yoga certification course that was local in my area that came up, and I was like, what, I think that is the route I need to go. I had been practicing yoga for a while in combination with dance, and I was really starting to see how it was helping me, both mentally, physically, all of that. And so I dove in. I took the certification class and then made that transition, and I am so happy that I did. It's so blessed that the timing just worked out exactly as it did for me to be able to make that move.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. So in your practice, can you tell me one of the most rewarding transformations that you've seen in one of the people that you've taught?
Absolutely. So there is one student in particular that I have in mind. When she first came to one of my classes, she was just kind of disheveled, you could tell that she was just looking for something to help her find, more stability in life. And she came to class, being able to see her consistently over time, and now seeing where she is and how she has really found confidence, has been able to really allow her light to shine. She is a beautiful individual, both inside and out. And it's just been so wonderful to see her grow throughout, the time that she's been coming to my classes. And she, of course, has many other yoga instructors as well that she works with, and, many other things that she's done in life to help her get to where she is now. But it's just wonderful to see that transformation when people start to really find that confidence.
You had mentioned earlier about consistency, and my trainer, she tells me that as well. And, there is something about consistency. And if I was just starting out yoga, if I was going to be consistent, does consistency mean 2 times a week? Does it mean you're there, Tuesday, Thursday, or does that mean Monday through Friday? Or what is consistency? What's your definition of consistency? I guess that's what I'm asking.
I would say find a schedule that works for you, that you're able to maintain. If you have never ever done anything and you're starting something new, trying to do it every single day might be a little too much to fit into a busy schedule. But maybe you're able to start with 2 times a week, or maybe you're able to start with, maybe it's 5 minutes a day, or, but finding those little chunks of time and finding a time that you're able to continue to show up, that is doable. You can always add on time as your schedule allows, or as you start to find that schedule that works for you. So just start with where you are. Even those little bits of time will help you find that consistency.
How long is a typical yoga session? Is it like 45 minutes?
Usually the classes that I teach are usually about an hour, but they can vary depending on where you're going, depending on the studio you're going to, or the instructor that you're working with. In a private lesson might be more of a 30-minute, 45-minute type class, where a large group class is usually more about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but it really depends on where you're going.
It's the Empowering Women's Expo. It's in the title, right? So how do you hope to inspire those attendees that are coming in February?
I really hope that, really if I can inspire even just one person, that would mean the world to me. But I want to be able to just share that and hopefully encourage all of the women there to share their light, their gifts with those around them. They're all, I'm sure, extremely beautiful women, both inside and out, and have wonderful gifts to share. So to be able to inspire someone to share that with others is, I guess, how I hope to, encourage and hopefully motivate the women that are there.
And remind me, are you a speaker, or are you going to be having a workshop where people will be doing yoga with you?
I am a speaker, so I'll be speaking about how yoga has helped me in both leadership, family, the balancing act of all of the things that life throws our way.
So we are just a little bit away from the main event in February, and there's lots of speakers. And for those ladies who are on the fence about attending, what would you say would be the reason that they should not miss when you are speaking and not miss your session?
My session is going to be focused a lot on balance and finding balance professionally and personally, so that you are ready to take on all of the challenges that life throws your way. So if that is something that speaks to you, I would definitely encourage you to show up.
Right now, holidays are coming up, and people feel the stress of having to have their house clean. They may have their in-laws coming over, and the stress of the shopping and all of the dust, right? And being that yoga is all about relaxation. Can you give our audience a few tips on how they can master, the time between now and the new year?
I firmly believe that how we show up for ourselves directly reflects how we show up for others. So even though it is a stressful time and you're feeling pulled in multiple directions, making sure that you're taking, even if it's just a little bit of time each day, to focus on you, to take care of you, so that you can then show up as your best self for others. Really finding a way to, whatever that may be for you, even if it's just 5 minutes of quiet time, but to take care of you so that you can show up as your best self for those around you.
That is great advice leading up to the holidays. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
As we are leading up to the expo, how can people find out more about you? Maybe they want to take a class from you before February. How do they do that?
Find me on both Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure Tyree will put the link up here through editing. But you can find me on Instagram. It is yoga.with.monique. Or on Facebook, Yoga with Monique. And those social media pages do have links to my website, which has my schedule to be able to either take a class or schedule a one-on-one time with me.
Perfect. And I will go ahead and put the website right here as well. Over there or up there, somewhere you will see the website. And with that is our time. Thank you so much for taking time out with me today to help us get ready for the Empowering Women's Expo coming up in February.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And everybody loves a little something special and a little extra. So are you going to be offering a little something for those who are coming to the expo?
Yes, absolutely. So I will have a discount on sessions, as well as a little something special for anyone who attends the expo.
All right, stay tuned for more information about that. And you're just going to have to come to the expo to find out what that special is.